I have absolutely no script for this video. It's just a video of me moaning about the situation in the property market and my situation as the property investor. I've been trying to make this video for about a month or so, and every time I write a script, a couple of weeks later it becomes completely irrelevant because the situation changes. So I thought, okay, scrap that, and I will talk about the things that I think matter nowadays. If you've been following my channel for some time, you know that recently I got involved into property investing. But recently, I mean about 2 years ago. And in this space of 2 years, I bought 3 properties. The last property I bought in February, the offer got accepted in February, but the contract has gone through and I received the keys in May. So when I was buying the property, when I was offering the price, a certain price for the property, when I was making my calculations, I was relying on a certain interest rate, I was relying on certain numbers and certain time frames. And the problem started when the purchase didn't go through as fast as I wanted it to go through, which I had no influence on, and it's just a matter of British bureaucracy. So this is the problem number 1 for me. I simply don't understand why it should take 4 months for the purchase to go through. I know that in other countries it may take a day even, but a week, a couple of weeks, I understand. But 4 months waiting for what? Waiting for the searches to come back to me. Okay, now I know that there is a quarry on the Quarry Road, well, which was pretty obvious. So I had to pay for the searches, and then I had to wait for the results of the searches to come through. Everything came back fine, but the time was lost. Then, because we lost so much time, and as you probably know if you're watching this video, the situation with the interest rates, mortgages, inflation, prices of everything have gone up and changed massively in these 4 months. So by the time I got the key, I already knew that my calculations were a little bit off. But truly speaking, I didn't realize how much off they were. So then what happened was I started the renovation, and all the quotes that I got back in February when I was making my original calculations have gone up because of the inflation. And this was still the time when a lot of people were renovating, a lot of people were buying houses, so I had to adjust a little bit and save on some parts of the project that I originally didn't want to be saving on. Anyway, I actually managed to renovate the house even under my original budget, but that involved a lot of working hours from my side and the members of my family. So we were happy with that. But then you have to wait for 6 months before you can actually remortgage your house, and the strategy that I'm using involves remortgaging the house after 6 months or as soon as you can, and this time runs out in November. So now you also probably know what's going on with the interest rates and mortgages. When I was originally buying a house in February, the average interest rate was about 2%. In May it was already about 3%, which didn't help, but it was still working out fine. Now by October the average interest rate is over 5%, and in November, by the time I can actually apply for the mortgage, I think it's going to go even higher. And with such interest rates, taking a mortgage on this house doesn't make much sense, because at the end I will end up paying almost all of my rental income to the bank. On top of that, the idea was to take the interest-only mortgage, but my profits will be completely wiped off by the current interest rate and the current mortgage repayments. It wasn't just a usual buy-to-let where you just buy the house and start renting it straight away, profiting from the rental income. My strategy is BRRR, where I bought the house below the market value, and it is still below the market value, so I'm still happy with this purchase. I don't want to sell this house. Then by renovating it, I increased the value of the house by about 20%. Considering the fact that I bought it about 10 to 15% below the market value on the first place, I made a good profit, so I have now an asset that is worth much more than when I bought it. On top of that, I rented it out for 20% more than I originally based my calculations on. But even with all these positive points, there is still no point in me taking the mortgage out on this house. So now I'm stuck with the situation where I have the asset, but I don't know what to do with it, because I don't necessarily want to sell it. It's a good house, and as I said, I managed to add a lot of value to this house. At the same time, a lot of uncertainty in the future makes me think that the interest rates might go even higher, and I do think that it might cause a crash in the property market. I don't know by how many percent, and I don't think that the value of this particular house will go below the price that I bought it for plus the cost of renovation, so I'm not going to lose any money on that house. But at the same time, my whole plan was just destroyed in a matter of several months, and I'm really interested to see your comments under this video, because I know that some property investors are watching my videos. Some people used to say that it's always better to buy a house without a mortgage. I understand that, there's no doubt that it's better, but if you don't have the money to buy several houses with cash, then what do you do? And I still think that my strategy does work, but I can't get rid of this thought in my head of how unfair it is if there was no bureaucracy on the first place and I would receive my keys from the house just 1 month after I purchased the house and not 4 months. I would be able to refinance this house at a good rate, and I'd have my cash now. And honestly, if I had a lot of cash now, all I would do is just be waiting for the property price correction or property price crash, and I would go again. Well, at the moment, I just want to be as honest with you as I can, and hopefully I will watch this video in a couple of months or in a couple of years, but hopefully months, and I will think that, oh, what did you worry about? There was nothing to worry about, everything turned out fine. But right now, it is what it is. And I totally understand that my situation is not the worst, because I don't owe any money, so I didn't take the money to buy this house on the bridge loan. There is no real rush for me to take the mortgage on this house right now with such high interest rates. It's just the fact that I don't have the cash to go again right now, and if I want to get this cash, then I do have to take the mortgage, and if I do take the mortgage, then it wipes out my profits from this house, which basically means that all the time and effort and energy that I put into this house becomes worthless, at least for some time. I also want to say that it's quite annoying to read the comments on Facebook of some people who started in 2012 and who were lucky just because they had an opportunity to start investing into property back then, because they had a chance to ride this wave for a long time, whilst those people who got involved later, like me, are now told that it was obvious, the property price increase couldn't last forever, that we should have waited. Come on people, no one saw this coming, no one saw the war coming, the pandemic coming, and if you tell me that you could foresee it, sorry, I wouldn't believe you. So here you go. I'm sure at some point I'm gonna make the video about the refurb process, and I will show you the prices, the before and after videos and photos, and I will also tell you about the numbers, but right now I cannot do it because the numbers, by the time the video is out, they will be completely out of date, and a couple of weeks that are left before I can actually refinance it, I'm sure will make a big difference. Well, thank you guys for watching it. If you're in the same situation, then please comment below. If you feel sorry for me, comment below, and if you think that I'm stupid, you can also comment below. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye bye.